Welcome, Denise.
Thank you.
Denise will be doing our opening invocation.
I've chosen some words by Starhawk, who is one of my favorite theologians. And so these are our opening words to inspire us. Earth Mother, Star Mother, you who are called by 1,000 names, may all remember we are the cells in your body and dance together. You are the grain and the loaf that sustains us each day. And as you are patient with our struggles to learn, so shall we be patient with ourselves and each other. We are radiant light and sacred dark, the balance. You are the embrace that heartens and the freedom beyond fear. Within you, we are born, we grow, we live and die. You bring us around the circle to rebirth, and within you, we dance forever. So may it be. Amen and blessed be.
Thank you, Denise. At this time, we're going to approve the meeting, the minutes from the last meeting. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to look at them. I move that we approve the minutes from our meeting last year.
I'll second it. This is Denise.
Thank you, Denise. Is there any comments or questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Our minutes from last year are approved. Next up, I will give my report. I'd like to start off talking about the challenges that we've faced this past year. Of course, we continue to struggle with the pandemic, and we've also been struggling with rising costs of everything when we're doing our budget and trying to get things done. Climate change is a big concern for everybody. The war and violence in our communities. We at IWC continue to build our community of women dedicated to using Unitarian and UU values to better our world. I hope that many, if not all of you, have attended one or more of our Tuesday gatherings. We usually meet twice a month on the second and fourth Tuesday. They are a warm and welcoming space for us to share our thoughts and feelings. They have been a comfort to me during the isolation of the pandemic, and I hope others feel the same. So I hope to see you at the next Tuesday gathering on June 28th, 2 weeks from today. In March of 2022, we started the International Young Adult Network, which was funded in part by the UU Funding Program and the EUU. The year-long program, led by young adult leaders from Belgium and India, provides opportunities to strengthen connections and to spark inspiration for civic engagement. It is designed and led by young adults. There are 22 young adults from 11 countries. I'm very proud that we started this program. I think it's a great program to get young people more involved in the work that we do. We are also an organization in special consultative status with the UN Economic and Social Council. We took part in the 66th annual Commission on the Status of Women, the CSW, in March. And we also hosted 2 parallel events at the Civil Society Forum. One event explored the topic of protecting women from online violence, and the other highlighted the efforts of women to protect trees in South America. So you can go to YouTube to see those. We also worked with other groups around the UN, such as the UUA office at the UN, the NGO CSW New York, the Women's Major Group. Another advocacy thing that we're doing outside of the UN is we joined the Women's Funding Network, the largest philanthropic network in the world. And they're devoted to improving the lives of women and girls. And we have signed statements with them in their advocacy for women. One about the Taliban restricting women's rights in Afghanistan, and another one about the threat to reproductive justice in the US. Also, since we started this year, we unveiled our membership program, which is important to be able to track where our members come from and to ask for commitments from our members. If you are not a member, please consider becoming one. You can become one by going to the website and filling out the form. And we also would like you to make a donation or agreeing to assist us in a volunteer capacity. We have a lot of opportunities for volunteers, and we would like to see more of you in a volunteer capacity. We also have a bunch of committees that you could get involved in. We have the Development Committee chaired by Tina Husing, the Leadership and Volunteer Recruitment led by Carol Houston, Membership chaired by Genya Peterson, Programs chaired by myself and Peg Swain, Outreach, Julie Steinbach and Denise Tracy, as well as our EU advocacy team chaired by Carol Houston. Thank you all for everything that you do. I know so many of you are involved in so much great work with IWC. So thank you all for that, and for your continued support, both financially and in capacity as a volunteer. Are you next up, Jofi?
Yes, it's me next. Just 1 second.
Great. All right.
I will share my screen, but give me a moment to find my slides, because I have some slides to present as I will be talking. Just 1 second.
For those who joined since we started, if you could write your name and location in the chat box, we would appreciate it.
You can all see my screen now?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Good, wonderful. So again, hello everyone, dear members and dear friends. We have many exciting activities to report on since last June. And at the outset, I want to acknowledge the vital support of the many individual donors and volunteers, our partner organizations, and the UU funding program that has made this work possible. I will try to be brief because we also have a special 7-minute video to present, but I invite all of you to go to our website to check out specific details on all the wonderful initiatives that IWC undertook this past year. So in the past year, we completed 4 projects. A leadership development program in District 7 of Viacha near the Bolivian capital of La Paz, which included skills training for creating small businesses. 49 participants, women from the marginalized indigenous Aymara community, received practical training in sewing, healthy foods, and baking, as well as hairdressing, over a period of 3 months, which were complemented by a series of online and in-person training sessions on leadership skills, female leadership and climate change, entrepreneurship, prevention of violence against women and girls, and environmental education. In partnership with Ecosystem Restoration Camps USA and Contour Lines, IWC supported women-led tree planting efforts in Chinabenque and Sosela, 2 indigenous communities in the mountainous region of Guatemala. Run in collaboration with local women's association, 2,300 fruit trees were planted by 23 households over 3 successive seasons. These women-led initiatives have resulted in sites that adeptly implement appropriate food forest agroforestry methods, leading over time to improved nutrition, food security, and climate resilience. In Northeast India, this year marked the completion of a COVID relief program in partnership with Senkintei, the women's wing of the Unitarian Union of Northeast India, which also addressed reproductive health, prevention of violence, and early marriage. These awareness programs took place in all of the districts of the Unitarian Union of Northeast India and involved over 500 participants.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yes, that's a real wow. Our first US project supported women and children recently released from detention facilities or recently arrived in the United States. IWC's project partner, the Asylum Seekers Sponsorship Project, and our project coordinator, Jen Meslin, offered 3 virtual informational sessions for UUs and other volunteers, which also provided several opportunities both for individuals and congregations. Last December, the Asylum Seeker Sponsorship Project distributed 30 welcome wellness kits to asylum-seeking families, including information on the asylum process, free or low-cost legal advice, mental health resources, various small gifts, as well as a cash card. A program that is being wrapped up focuses on building and strengthening women's leadership in Philippine UU congregations and creating a sustainable and effective Philippine UU Women's Association. These goals were achieved through monthly congregational visits, providing a series of training on women's rights and response to gender-based violence, discussions on organizational goals and objectives, and the creation of a new set of bylaws. In March, the bylaws were finalized and accepted by the General Assembly of the UU Women's Association, and new officers were elected based on these new bylaws. An ongoing effort this year has been to provide vital support for the most vulnerable caught up in the war in Ukraine. A week after the Russian invasion of Ukraine on February 24th, IWC launched a Faithify campaign to supply immediate assistance to families fleeing the war in Ukraine in partnership with Gondviselés, or Providence charity organization of the Hungarian Unitarian Church. Given the overwhelming response to the crisis, this campaign was extended, or rather a second campaign was mounted. So far, the fundraising effort has raised over $90,000 from more than 485 donors, including UU congregations and organizations. 3 shipments were sent to Transcarpathia in southwest Ukraine, consisting of non-perishable food items and equipment for refugee shelters. Medicines and medical supplies were delivered to hospitals in Odessa and Lubashivska, both in South Ukraine. A highlight of the work of the Providence organization has been the launch of a kindergarten class for Ukrainian children at the Unitarian Nursery School in Kolozsvár, Cluj. In June, an elementary class will be added for children ages 6 and 7. This is a critical age. Children are too old for kindergarten, but they cannot really learn how to read and write through online learning alone. The classes, led by 2 Ukrainian mothers and teachers, will cover reading and writing in Ukrainian, math, English, music, physical education, as well as arts and crafts. Providence currently provides safe shelter for 40 people in church properties and in private accommodations in and around Kolozsvár, Cluj. It also assists with meals, in-kind donations, medical examinations and medicines, job search, counseling, and other administrative support. And now I invite all of you to watch a 7-minute video about Providence's work to help refugees and the internally displaced. This video was created by and aired on Duna TV, which is one of Hungary's public TV channels. In order of appearance, you will hear from Reverend Norbert Rácz, Deputy Bishop of the Hungarian Unitarian Church, Reverend Attila Vagyos, Vice President of the Providence Charity Organization, Reverend Zsolt Elekes, Religious Education Teacher in the Unitarian High School, and Elena Bolozovic, Ukrainian refugee. Tina, I think we can start the video.
Azzal kell segíteni, amire tényleg szükség van. Ennek a meggyőződésnek a jegyében szervezte meg az ukrajnai menekültek támogatását szolgáló programját Kolozsvár unitárius közössége. Bár a gondolat magától értetődő, ez az elhatározás a klasszikus formák mellett jó néhány első pillanatra meglepő tevékenység felvállalását is jelentette számukra.
Mint minden ilyen helyzetben azt hiszem, hogy mi is a szokásos lépéseket jártuk végig. Az első pillanatokban össztársadalmilag lehetett érezni egy hatalmas lelkesedést amellett, hogy segítsünk, vagy annak érdekében, hogy segítsünk embertársainknak. Ahogy telnek a hetek, a hónapok, úgy sokszor ez a lelkesedés lankad. Ezt meg kell látni, hogy össztársadalmilag látható ez a lankadása ennek a segítő szándéknak. Mi arra törekedtünk, hogy egyfelől azokat a projekteket, amelyeket elindítunk, azokat úgy indítsuk el, hogy azok fenntarthatóak legyenek, és csak akkor lendüljünk működésbe, amikor látunk egy olyan fajta lehetőséget, egy olyan fajta hiányt ebben a segítési folyamatban, amelyet más nem fed le.
Most közel 40 személyt szállásolunk jelen pillanatban is itt Kolozsváron. Nagyon sokan vannak már, akik már tovább mentek, pár napig voltak megszállva és tovább mentek. Ez a közel 40 személy, ez gyakorlatilag több mint másfél hónapja már itt lakik nálunk. Nagyon sokat segítenek nekünk is az igény felmérésébe, és igyekszünk nekik is valamilyen fajta tevékenységet nyújtani, a kollégium az egyházzal karöltve, így az iskola befogadta a diákokat, órákat hallgatnak, illetve különböző tevékenységeken vesznek részt.
próbáljuk megteremteni annak a lehetőségét, hogy normális életet tudjanak élni itt közöttünk. Ebbe beletartozik az, hogyha a cipőre van szükség, akkor segítünk abban, hogy hol találnak minőségi cipőt is, és amikor szükség van, akkor segítünk abban is, hogy beszerezzék, segítünk abban, hogy az oktatását a gyerekeknek oldják meg, segítünk abban, hogy munkát találjanak, és találtak is munkát egy része a csapatnak, és segítünk minden olyan kérdésben, akár szemüveget cserélni, ami a mindennapok folyamán egy természetes emberi igény.
Изначально мы ехали в Португалию.
Eredetileg Portugáliába indultunk, de ajánlották nekünk, hogy maradjunk itt pihenni 3 napig. És így történt, hogy ez a 3 nap meghatározó volt, mert gyönyörű helyen találtuk magunkat, csodálatos emberek között, akik mondták, hogy maradjunk, mert itt biztonságban leszünk. És mivel igazából nem volt hová mennünk, elhatároztuk, hogy itt maradunk.
Eddig 4 segélyszállítmányt sikerült összeállítani. 2 Kárpátaljára ment, Beregszászra, 2 pedig Odesszába küldtünk. Ezt szinte azt mondhatnám, hogy teljes mértékben az onnan ide elmenekült ukránok segítségével. Konkrétan ők vitték át Odesszába ezt a segélyszállítmányt. Ezek a segélyszállítmányoknak a tartalma az tábori ágyak, matracok, hálózsákok, tartós élelmiszer, zseblámpák és kézi adóvevő készülékek, illetve Odesszában nagyon sok gyógyszert, egészségügyi kelléket kértek, és akkor gyakorlatilag az igény felmérése után mi ezt megvásároltuk, és sikerült már 2 alkalommal ilyen segélyszállítmányt kiküldeni Odesszába.
Bármikor érkeztek vendégek Ukrajnából hozzánk, én szeretem vendégeknek nevezni őket, mert azok is. A legtöbben megkérdezték, hogy jó, nagyon szépen köszönjük a segítséget, miben segíthetünk mi. És tényleg mondhatom azt, hogy üzenetlavina zúdult rám, hogy miben segíthetünk, takaríthatunk a bentlakásban, ugye tanárok nagyrészt taníthatunk az iskolában, és szerették volna kivenni részüket. Tehát számukra is fontos volt, hogy ne csak az egyik oldalán legyenek ennek a segélyezési folyamatnak, hanem ők is nyújtsanak valamit magukból.
Наверное, я отвечу.
Nagyon sokat tanulunk, elsősorban elfogadni a segítséget, és a ti példátokon, ahogy ti gondoskodtok rólunk. Mi is megtanuljuk, hogy hogyan segítsünk másoknak. Amikor engem megkértek, hogy létrehozzak egy Telegram csoportot, én gondolkozás nélkül vállaltam, és egy unitárius csapattal együttműködve elkezdtük a csoportot megszervezni. Ők minden olyan kérdésben segítenek nekünk, amely az ukránok támogatásával kapcsolatos.
Nagyon sok időt töltünk velük. Esténként mesélünk egymásnak, megosztjuk egymással a tapasztalatainkat, a kultúránbeli különbségeket és hasonlóságokat. És igazán mondhatom, hogy nagyon szoros barátság alakult ki köztük, és nem egy felszínes barátság, ahol ők azért kedvesek velünk, mert mi befogadtuk, mi meg protokollból kedvesek vagyunk velük, hanem tényleg le tudunk ülni, beszélni, és őszintén elbeszélgetni különböző társadalmi, politikai, kulturális témákról, és nem feszengünk egymással. És ez egy nagyszerű dolog. Ez őszintén azt hiszem, ezen vagyok meglepődve a leginkább.
Моральное состояние наших детей.
A gyermekeink lelki állapota a legelső gondunk. Miután kezdtek iskolába járni, megismertek más gyerekeket, kommunikálni kezdtek velük, láttam, hogy nyugodtabbak lettek, kevesebbet aggódtak, és ezáltal én is valamennyire megnyugodtam. Minden anya számára fontos a gyermeke nyugalma és biztonsága. Ezért, amíg itt vagyunk, szeretnénk a már működő óvodai csoporton kívül más programokat is szervezni a gyerekeinknek, hogy foglalkoztassuk őket, és hogy boldogok, vidámak legyenek.
Gondolkoztunk azon, hogy a 2010 óta működő kolozsvári unitárius bölcsődében indítsunk egy olyan csoportot, amely kimondottan ukrán gyerekeknek szól, egy óvodai csoportot, és így legalább azáltal, hogy naponta ezek a gyerekek találkozhatnak, játszhatnak, hozzájuk hasonló gyerekekkel, akik ugyanazt a nyelvet beszélik, egy kicsit enyhítsük az idegenséget, ezt a rettegést, ezt a bizonytalanságot, ami lépten nyomon ott van olyan gyerekekkel, akiknek tényleg semmi közük nincs ehhez a konfliktushoz.
Egy termet felszabadított a bölcsőde, és ott 2 ukrán óvónővel sikerült beindítani ezt az óvis csoportot. Közel 15 gyerek rendszeresen vesz részt, nem csak hogy foglalkozást biztosítunk nekik, hanem étkezést is a teljes nap során.
A segítésnek a természetéhez tartozik, azt hiszem ez a tény, hogy akármivel adománnyal, vagy pénzbeli adománnyal, vagy kétkezi munkával, vagy gondolattal segít az ember, azt megtapasztalja, hogy milyen áldás származik ebből, így ilyen egyháziasabb kifejezéssel élve, a saját életére nézve. Tehát úgy gondolom, hogy mindenki, aki ebben a programban részt vett, az megtapasztalhatta, megérhette ezt, és úgy gondolom, hogy a gyülekezeteink is, amelyek ugyanígy szószéki hirdetés nyomán különböző formában segítettek a menekülteken, megérezhették azt, hogy a kereszténység nem csak a templomok falai között él, Isten tiszteleteken és ünnepeken, hanem is elsősorban akkor él, és akkor mutatkozik meg a hitvallás, amikor szükség van arra, hogy az ember cselekedjen.
Hey parents, over here.
Thank you, Tina, for sharing the video. I am aware that the image may not have been clear enough, or even the subtitles sometimes could not be seen. But I put the link to the video in the chat, and I will make sure to send it all out to you, so you can watch the video again in your own time, whenever you like. So in closing, I'd like to reiterate what Reverend Norbert Rath said at the end, and the subtitles, I don't think you could see the subtitles, so I will now repeat Reverend Norbert Rath's words. Faith primarily lives and manifests itself in action. No matter the nature of helping, whether it is in the form of a gift, money, manual labor, or thought, one experiences its blessings on their own lives. I think I am not exaggerating when I say that those of us at IWC have all been blessed working for IWC, that each of us has experienced its myriad of blessings. And for that, we are incredibly grateful to you, the many committed volunteers, the members, donors, partners, supporters, and allies who have helped make this work possible. We are a small organization with few human resources, but we are doing meaningful and personally very rewarding work in the world. So if you are not yet participating in a volunteer capacity, please join our amazing team of volunteers. Whatever your passion, your interest or ability, IWC has a place for you. And thank you.
Thank you, Jofi. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. What a great program. I'm so proud to be a part of this organization. Today, Jerry was not able to be here, our treasurer, Jerry Kennedy. So I'm going to give her report in her absence. She wrote a little something up. She said, thank you to all who donate to IWC. Those donations are the source of income to cover our administrative costs. Our programs are funded through grants, mainly from the UU funding panel and Faithify. It has been an unusual year so far. We are proud to assist in fundraising for Ukrainian refugee relief. However, it has affected our bottom line, especially for the Share the Plate offerings, much of which has been designated for Ukraine. So we will likely only raise about 1/3 of our normal fundraising income. It will be a tight year, but we will carry on. Our goal of retaining a professional bookkeeper later this year may need to be put on hold a bit, but we want to remove these duties from the treasurer's position for the future. You will hear about our projects and programs, including membership from others. In absentia, Jerry Kennedy, Treasurer. Okay, I think next on our agenda is the Nominating Committee report.
So, good morning. As a member of the nominating committee, this past year, I'm very pleased to report that we have two stalwart board members who have decided to accept the call to carry on for another term. And that's Beth O'Connell and Peg Swain. And our new board member is Deb Pritchard, who is relatively new to us, but she comes with a lot of passion for climate change and the Philippines in particular. So we're very happy to present them as actually to the board who approved them for your consideration. We also have one board member who was unable to continue with her term, Roby Jean in the Philippines, a young mother and college student, and her term will be filled out by a new member to us from India, a very active member of Sankate, Sankate there in India, Dr. Bali, we're calling her Nongbri. She has a Bala Diangita Nongbri. She's an educator and an activist there in India. So we're happy to welcome her as on the slate, or the board has already approved her to fill out Roby Jean's term. So that is our nominations slate for your consideration and vote. To you, Karen.
All right, are there any nominations from the floor? Yeah, and Algiva wrote in the chat that that Peg is Margaret Swain, as written on her, underneath her face. So in case nobody knows, in case people don't know who that is, there she is.
Wave to us, Peg.
And Dr. Nongbri is also here with us.
Do we see her?
She has her camera turned off, so I don't know if she's able to say hi.
Dr. Bala, can we see you?
Yes.
For a few seconds.
There she is.
Hi, welcome to the IWC.
Hello.
Hello.
So good to see you. I look forward to getting to know you.
I look forward to working with all of you. I hope to be contributing and helping out in the different projects.
That's great.
Thank you.
Great. Welcome. Okay.
And then, the other nomination that the nominating committee is filling is a new member of the nominating committee, and that's Vicki Roberts Gassler we're proposing. Hi, Vicki. She's moving into the term that I've been filling.
Hi, Vicki. Yeah, I'm glad we have you. Thank you so much. Okay, it seems like there are no nominations from the floor. So I would like to move that we accept Dr. Nongbri as or Dr. Nongbri already was appointed to the board, so I guess it's just Deb Pritchard. I move that we accept Deb Pritchard as the newest member of the IWC board.
Denise Tracy, second.
Thank you, Denise. All in favor? Say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Hi.
Any opposed? All right, Deb Pritchard is Deb Pritchard is our newest board member. Congratulations, Deb.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for agreeing to serve.
Thank you.
And then I move that we accept Vicki Roberts Gassler as the newest member of our nominating committee.
I'll second.
Thank you, Peg. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, Vicki Roberts Gassler is the newest member of our nominating committee. Welcome, Vicki, and thank you so much for agreeing to serve.
Thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda, I believe Beth is going to be talking to us about a breakout activity that we're gonna take part in.
Karen, what about me and Peg? Don't we have to vote for our new term?
Oh, I'm sorry. I move that Beth and Peg are reelected as board members of IWC.
Seconded.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, so Beth and Peg are reelected to the IWC board for another term. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. That's okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
Even though it's not as early for me as it is for some, I'm not a morning person, so go ahead, Beth.
You're Central Time. You should be more awake.
I know.
Anyway, I just came back from the
That's a
States
plus.
this morning, so I have a bit of jet lag, but here I am. And thank you for your votes. And it's a pleasure and such a great learning experience to be part of this organization. And I hope that you all find that too in your connection with us. And as everyone's been saying, you know, we welcome you. You're getting more and more involved in our work. So what we thought we'd do now is what we do on Tuesday at our bi-monthly Tuesday gatherings, go into breakout rooms. And what we'd like to talk about, you've heard our what we've been up to. And so this past year, and we'd like your feedback, a little brainstorming. What do you hope to see IWC be more involved in? What types of programs or activities would you like to see IWC initiate in the future? We'd like to get your feedback. We'd like to get your ideas. And so we'll do it the way we do it at our Tuesday gatherings. We'll go into breakout rooms, pick someone to record your thoughts, your ideas, and then we'll come back and share. So Jopi will put us in breakout rooms.
How much time do we have?
Jopi?
Yes, you have about 10 minutes in the breakout rooms and then we reconvene. So I'm sending out the invitation to all of you to join a breakout group. And I will send you a reminder maybe 2 minutes before the time's up. Okay, I just sent out the invitation to all of you.
Okay, as usual. Okay, as usual, we could have continued on and on, but we're always have wonderful conversations and sharing, and so. Okay, so let's see what the feedback is. How about group one? That was the group I was in. Carol Cook took our notes. Carol.
Your mic, Carol.
Oh, I guess I got muted when I was put back in the whole group. Sorry. Kathy Wheeler said she was impressed with our project in the Ukraine, what she would like to see more of is work on women's reproductive rights. It's very distressing what's happening here in the US, but it's also a global issue. Julie said that the Tuesday gatherings are fabulous, and Faith of Pi has put us on the map, including for the UUA, which is sometimes overlooked, the work of the IWC. What she would like to see is us doing more work on systems change. For example, is there somehow we could advocate to prevent the kinds of things that led up to the war in Ukraine? So systems change is very important to her. I'm not sure I can pronounce this correctly, but Ms. Nombri has a concern about domestic violence, empowering women to become stronger in the family. Domestic violence is a growing problem in her country. Beth O'Connell said that she too wants to see continuing support in our work on violence against women. And what she's especially interested in for the coming year is expanding our advocacy in the UN. And she said it's very important to have good partners, such as we do with the organization in Hungary. That was a wonderful example of a great partnership.
The organization in Transylvania, Romania. Yes, it does have a branch in Hungary, a small one.
Oh, okay, sorry. She probably said the right thing and I may have written down the wrong thing.
Okay, Carol, what about you? Your comments.
My comments was, I'm very much in admiration of all the amazing things that IWC can do. And I can't really suggest how we can improve because I'm just in such awe of what we're doing.
Okay, thank you. Yopi, how many groups do we have?
7 groups.
Okay, group 2.
I think that might be me, but I didn't pay attention. Is it?
That's correct. That's correct, Audrey. You're in group 2.
Okay. So we had Sharon Von Duzens and Barbara Crest Beach and Lisa Lamar, who didn't get to speak for some reason. Anyway, for Sharon, the small gatherings that they had in Kenya, she would like to see that be resurrected again. COVID interfered with it. She said it helps young women get in touch with who they are, and she wants to support this effort to bring this forward again. Woman who was involved is now living in Maine, and Julie Steinbeck can talk about this because she was involved with that. The other, Barbara talks about sanitation and health and a Ghanaian project involved with toilets and washing in a small community outside Accra. They were building a small business and soap and so on. They hope to have a presentation to IWC because they already work with Rotary International in the US and around the world, and linking the system to the British establishment of some kind that helps out. Let me see, what else do I have here? What is exciting about this is that it's woman managed, and the opportunities for IWC to collaborate with them. And she'll be speaking to Sophie and our group in order to start this up again. And in my situation, I was absolutely overawed about the Faithify project with Transylvania and Romania that's supporting Ukraine. A personal involvement myself because I'm hosting a family from Ukraine, and their situation in I can't say the name of the city where they're parents are still near the Russian border and things are really bad there. They're speaking with them every day. And it's just ripping my heart out. And I'm a bystander. So can imagine what those people are going through. So Faith of Five for me is the absolute ultimate as far as I'm concerned. And Lisa, you should get to speak because somehow or other, I got dumped out. I guess they took a look at me and said, you know, you're gone. So if Lisa can just say a few words, that would be great.
Well, I didn't have much to share. All I wanted to say is that I just would love to hear what everyone else has to say. And maybe I can take pointers back to the Young Adult Network and then work out what we would do for our local communities and maybe as the Young Adult Network itself for CSW next year. So I'm just sitting here all ears in. Thank you for sharing, everyone.
Thank you, Lisa. Good point for sharing with our Young Adult Network. Jofi, yeah, you want to say something?
Yes, I am sorry. I misread. Sorry, Audrey was actually in group 5. So that was group 5 that just reported, not group 2.
Okay.
Okay, so who's group 2 then?
Jackie, Peg, Maricel, and Olga.
Okay, so who took notes in group 2?
Oh, Peg, you're on mute.
Yeah,
there you go.
I did. We had a very late start. So really only 2 of us got to speak at all. And that were unfortunately myself, who carried on a bit, and Olga. And I would say that our theme really resonated with what Julie had to say in terms of systemic change, that the issues in the world are so huge. And we see this playing out in IWC's work as well. The challenges are big and our potential is also wonderful. We've seen some phenomenal successes this year with being able to engage some of the distress in the world. And Olga really helped bring the focus back in on women. That we again, she's advocating for a new conception of the women's movement. Where do we go from here? And those of us who've been involved in this work for decades and decades can say that it's a really long process. We've seen change, we've seen wonderful change, but we have again so much more that we could do to find some sort of parity, equity, and equality. So we hope to hear from Maricel. I don't know if she's available now. She was cutting in and out, and Jackie as well. If they have something they want to add, please do. Otherwise, that's our report.
Okay. What is the future or new direction of the women's movement? That sounds like a good topic for our Tuesday gathering one day.
Yeah.
One Tuesday. Okay. All right. Group 3.
I took notes for group 3, and it was Genia, Ginger, Creme Lemon, and me. We loved Jofi's report. It was very clear and gave a good overview of the things that we're doing. We pretty much all 5 of us agree that the Tuesday morning sessions on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays should have a moment about the institution, some project we're doing, something, just a minute or 2, so that we are building all the time, strengthening our connection to the projects and strengthening our understanding. It's very nice to have all of us get together and talk, but I think the whole purpose is to strengthen the IWC. So we would like very much to hear more about the institution on a regular basis and projects, and have somebody, take a minute or 2 each session to tell us something that the organization is doing. The other thing that we talked about is how the IWC is invisible in the UUA for the most part. When all of the lists of people who had raised money for the UUA was written out, the IWC wasn't even listed. And so we would like to be more visible And we would like to have more people know who we are. And that means that all of us need to go to our local churches, our congregations, and really invite women and women's groups to participate in the IWC, to know who we are, and to expand the group so that we can expand our getting grants and expand the institution. So we love everything that's happening, but we want people to know about it, and we want more people to be part of it. So, and that means all of us need to be doing this. It's just not up to the board and Jofi. It's up to each one of us to think of women that we know who could participate, who could add something, and who could strengthen this organization. And the UUA needs to know who we are.
Okay, another good topic for further discussion, how we get the UUA to wake up. Okay, that was your group 3, group 4.
Yes, that's me reporting for group 4. In group 4, there's myself, Laura, Stanke, Nancy, Lammy, and Greenwood, and Vicky. So Vicky had asked me what we are doing here, and if there's anything else that we could think that we can do in the Khasi Hills. So I told the group that our violence program, violence prevention program, is an ongoing program which has started long ago, when we about 6-7 years ago, and we want to keep it going because violence is a thing that never doesn't stop. You know, we started and then we have one solution and then another problem comes up. So with all this cyber crime and everything happening, so we have to have our awareness programs continuing from time to time. And we are also focusing on a social work from the UUNEI as a whole. We have a social work committee which works, especially right now we are dealing with some natural calamities which has happened during to the rain and landslide happening. So we are working on that. And then Laura had shared that she was quite interested with the discussion we had involving the education for girls, and she would like to focus her attention on girls' education, especially what she had heard during this ongoing war. And Nancy had shared about the same destruction of war, and she said that if we can support the teachers who are working hard to teach the children, even in these places, new relocated areas, which are very temporary, but the teachers are willing to teach the kids wherever they are. And she's also interested in that Guatemala project, the plantation project, reforestation. And she was very happy to see that people are involved in this environment program. And also she would like to have new collaborations with other groups, since we are also a new and smaller organization. So maybe we can have collaborations with others so we can be more visible. And Anne Greenwood, she focused on the Bolivia project. She was quite interested to see that. She said it's very gratifying to see people involving in that project, and it looks very sustainable because they learn to do what they're doing, and we just hope that they will keep learning and share with others and train others, which is going to be a sustainable project. And also the young adults program, which is going on right now, she's very happy to see it, and she said that I'm very happy to see that our contributions being implemented in such a way with good results. And Vicky also has told us about that she wanted to know, and she's very happy to see that whatever she donated or she contributed is implemented on ground. So that's what we have shared in group 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Aljiva. Okay, how about group 6 now? Group 6.
Who is in group 6?
That's me, group 6.
Okay.
Which was Barbara, Carol Houston, Dr. Rika Lamar, but whose name shows up differently on her Zoom thing, and myself. A couple of us didn't really get a chance to comment as it took us a little while to get started. I started it with saying that the thing that I most appreciated this year was the UN advocacy group that we did. I think that we have made connections. I think we gave really good programs that were really important, and that meant a lot to me. Dr. Rika said that one of the things that highlighted for her was the work with the Providence Center and the way in which we were able to share and contribute to helping the people who were impacted by the war. And Dr. Rika liked the emphasis that we put on the violence against women in our programs, that we were working on that issue. She also had a suggestion for a program to work on in where she is, and that is empowering single mothers that they are subject to economic disadvantages, and that some of them were turning to sex work in order to provide for their families, and many of them need legal and medical help. And that was the suggested project that she might be interested in. Unfortunately, the time was short and we didn't get any more. Weren't able to hear from any of the others. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Phyllis. We'll have ongoing discussions on all these things. Empowering single mothers, that's a good one. Okay, group 7.
We didn't appoint a speaker. Karen, did you want to talk?
Well, we talked about the project in Ukraine and how, you know, we were proud that we raised so much money, but also about how that contrasts with our other projects and working with people from other parts of the world that maybe don't look as much like us in the US, and how that is disappointing to us that we can't get the same level of enthusiasm for, projects with Black and brown people in other parts of the world, and why is that, and how can we look at that? So I think that was an important part of our discussion. That was the highlight. I don't know that we discussed a lot else. I know that everybody was pretty much, focused on thinking about that, and, being glad that we are able to do so much for Ukraine. But like I said, too, also about, why can't we get enthusiasm for, as much enthusiasm for other projects? So it's definitely something, for us to contemplate. I know that there's been talk in other circles within, the UU Church in our country, and maybe other places too. So it's, do you have anything else to add, Tina, that I missed?
I think you covered it. I mean,
okay.
Maybe the third point, Ukraine, that the Ukrainian fundraiser really filled a need, that it would be nice to have more projects that involve people who don't look like us. And then the third point was just a recognition that the work that we do with the youth is really appreciated.
All righty, yeah. I did not mention the youth. Yeah, but I think, that's a very important thing too. I'm so glad to see that we're able to have younger people become engaged with our organization.
And Isa's on the call.
Yeah. Yes, good to see some young faces here and have that enthusiasm that youth brings.
Do we actually have a youth adult group?
Well, the project that we have going now that we, got a grant from the UU funding panel and put together is a young adult group, and they're working to build a network. So, to learn from each other and to get involved with advocacy and projects and things. So yeah, that is one of our project focuses right now.
Will there be a Zoom or a way that we can become involved with that group?
Well, hopefully they will be able to present to us sometime and share what's going on in their circle. So what's that?
Exciting. I said, it sounds exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Lisa Lamar joins our group usually on Tuesdays also. So she's here today. So she's listening and gaining a lot of input, probably like we all are.
Do you see Lisa now? She's on camera. She's waving to us. Lisa's one of the leaders. She's great. Yeah, and
that's wonderful.
Well, very, very recently, the Sankantay has enrolled 6 new young adults and they have joined the IWC. Although they haven't really worked with our women's wing, but they are going to learn, and we are trying to get them to see what we have been doing and also to join the IWC actively. And they've also made their presentations and all, which was very good. So I just hope that we will be able to share with all of you in the days to come. Thank you.
Okay, so that's great, and I think that's one of the suggestions we had, that at our Tuesday gatherings, we give a few minutes to give updates on our projects and any call for action or call for involvement. We can make it there. So okay, and again, our Tuesday gatherings, the next one is on June 28th. And then after that, it'll be the second Tuesday in July 12th. And then after that, we're going to take a short summer break. So join us for these next two coming up. Okay, so Karen, I'll pass back to you now.
All righty. I think we are getting towards the end of our meeting, and I know people are probably getting restless. I would like to invite Elgiva. She will be doing our benediction. And so I will give her the floor. Elgiva? Oh, are you, you're on mute.
Yes. So
okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Just before I give the benediction, I would like to thank each one of us who have who have given us their special time to be with us in this meeting. And so let's go to the benediction for all of us. Spirit of life, stay with us, refresh us from time to time, and encourage us in all our endeavors. May we live our faith truly as stalwarts of action in this work field, as heaven is above the clouds, here on earth and beneath our feet. As we part, pray let us live in each other's heart. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Elgiva. That was beautiful. And thank every one of the beautiful souls here today. And I'm also thinking about those who are not able to be with us. So this annual meeting of the International Women's Convocation is adjourned.